Fertilizer has been fooling me for years. I thought my garden was beyond saving. Collapse usually doesn't start with headlines about famine. It creeps in smaller, meaner ways. A tomato plant that should be climbing by midsummer just stalls. Its leaf edges yellowing, brittle under the scorching noon sun. That raised bed you spent money filling turns rock, hard after just one hot week. Fertilizer prices spike again. Lettuce at the store looks tired. Herbs cost more than they should, and even if you water on schedule, feed according to the instructions, do everything by the book, your own soil still feels lifeless in your hands. A lot of people quietly give up here. Not because they're lazy, not because they lack discipline. It is because the whole experience tricks them into thinking failure is their fault. You missed a feeding, you bought the wrong product. If you lift your eyes from the plants for a moment and really look at the soil itself, the problem becomes obvious. Press it with your fingers. Does it feel soft and spongy, like it is soaked with rain and alive with roots? Or does it resist like packed flour, breaking into blunt clumps or powder? Does water soak in, or just sit on the surface before edging off? Lift the mulch. And is there nothing there? What people call poor soil isn't what they imagine. It is not just hungry, waiting for a bigger nutrient hit. It is structurally depleted, biologically exhausted. It is a medium, not a living system. And this isn't just a backyard problem. You see the same pattern on farms, supermarket, shelves, and even in family budgets. When land loses its sponge-like ability, extreme weather hits harder. One hot week can suddenly become an emergency for your crops. Once dead soil becomes normal, dependency follows. You start believing fertility comes from bagged products. Growth comes from some company's mysterious instructions on a label you've never even met. The trick is, the system still produces just enough to look convincing, hiding the damage temporarily. A decent harvest here and there, a green flash after fertilizing, a sudden leaf expansion, but beneath the surface, the structure is falling apart. That is why gardeners everywhere share the same private frustrations. Whether it is a balcony herb grower, a suburban family with two-seater beds, or a small farmer trying to restore a patch of clay, you feel the cost, not just in gardening, but in your body. The extra labor hauling fertilizer, the irritation reading labels full of promises, the unease when a storm hits and you know the beds can't hold water. You're told the soil is tired, so they sell you a stimulant. You're told weeds are enemies, so they sell you a poison. You're told productivity means control, so they hand you a bag, a bottle, a machine, and call it modern agriculture. But look closely, what this system actually does is turn once breathing, water-holding, self-sustaining soil into a patient kept alive by life support. Leaves might temporarily green up, but the real problem is still there. This is the part most gardeners never hear in the store. When staring at those glossy labels promising boosted growth, fertilization, advanced gardening success, fertilizer doesn't build soil, it bypasses it. It is like an IV drip, delivering isolated nutrients to an already weakened body. Then, uses the plant's short-term reaction as proof the treatment worked. You see growth spurt, stems shoot up, leaves deepen, and think the problem is solved. It is not. And then, when I was nearly ready to give up, I tried an almost ridiculous little method, costing just $2. And in 24 hours, my dead soil came back to life. Worms returned. Soil became soft and moist. Plants stood tall like they'd been drinking liquid life. I saw it with my own eyes. Yellow leaves turning lush green. Cracked fruit starting to revive. The whole garden pulsing with energy. I couldn't help but think, if I'd known this sooner, how many years of fertilizer and wasted time could I have avoided? Fertilizer had tricked me for years, but this tiny trick finally gave me hope. Your garden can come alive in a single day. No expensive chemicals or lifeless soil required. Which plant would you most want to save? Are you willing to try this simple method? Share your story in the comments. Maybe the next miracle will happen in your own garden.